Hey everybody, it's Rachel and I'm here with EG.idrA, better known to me as Greg Fields. How you doing, Greg?
I'm pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah, we're here in Korea, one of your last days in Korea. And how are you spending your last couple days here?
Actually, I have IEM coming up, so I still have to practice a lot. I don't really get to say goodbye to Korea that much.
Well, that's a shame. I do have a lot of questions for you. I did go to reddit.com and solicit these questions, so I'm going to be reading pretty much word for word what these people are asking you and letting you know who asked them, so you can find them later online and harass them. But I'm going to dive right into these. Is that all right?
That sounds good.
Great. So actually our first question comes from Manel. He wants to know, what are you most excited to do when you go back to the States?
Excited to do? I'm not sure, but the thing I'm most excited about is I'm going to be, back living with my friends. I'm moving into a house with Machine and Inca in Arizona, so it's going to be really cool to be back with them. I've been on my own for a while, and living on your own is good, but it's going to be nice to be back to kind of that practice house environment with people who have been longtime friends of mine online, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that sounds awesome. You guys are planning to live near, I know Sir Scoots, leader of Team EG, well, one of the leaders of Team EG is out there. He has a house set up and a lot of streaming stuff for it, so you're going to be doing a lot of stuff with him?
Yeah, it's close to there, and that's a big part of the reason I'm moving back there, just to be able to take advantage of all the production facilities he has in terms of broadcasting and content production.
That's awesome. You'll have to tell him hello from me. Our next question comes from Holy Bananas. He wants to know, what is the one thing you're going to miss most about Korea?
It's hard to choose. I've lived out here for 3 years. Actually, it's become my home, and I really enjoy it a lot. I guess I'll miss the food a lot. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of great Korean places in Arizona, so I'll miss that.
That is true. I do love the food out here. Blue K wants to know, did the state of the Zerg or not having any teammates to practice with affect your decision to leave?
Not having teammates to practice with definitely did. We were thinking about having a Korean house out here, and if we had decided that that was the best choice, then even all the foreign leagues aside, I would have stayed out here to be with my teammates. But as is, we decided to focus more on the West for now, and I didn't really want to stay out here without practice partners, without my teammates, so that definitely had a big impact on it. The state of Zerg didn't really, because, the state of Zerg doesn't change no matter where you live, and I think eventually it will be balanced, so that didn't have any impact on my decision.
Excellent. And what did you think of GSL's Goodbye EG.idrA tribute video? That's actually my question, but there's been a lot of stir on the forum about this.
I was actually kind of honored. I think it's really cool that they did that. It was a little bit melodramatic. Like, I'm wondering how many people out there actually think that I died.
Quite a few if Team Liquid is to judge. All right, let's see here. Has Artosis ever given you a high five, and did Artosis denying you the high five influence your choice on leaving Korea? This is from Sydney C and D-Nerf.
No, it didn't. That was just a nice little awkward moment in our video. It didn't. It's just a funny little thing. No.
I wouldn't know anything about awkward moments in videos. Let's see. I bought Huck ice cream when he won MLG Rally, says Josh Suth. What snack do you want if you manage to win another MLG this year?
A snack, huh? I don't know about a snack, but I don't know, maybe a nice steak dinner. I haven't had steak in forever, and Koreans don't really do steak, so that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. So you can get me that.
All right, Josh Suth, you just signed yourself up to buy EG.idrA's steak dinner. You wake up tomorrow and there's no StarCraft 2. What endeavors do you turn your attention to?
Well, assuming that means no esports in general, I would probably just go back to school and either physics or engineering, depending on how much I want money and how much I enjoy physics. But otherwise, it would be go back to StarCraft 1. I still really enjoy gaming. That's what I want to do for now.
All right, awesome. Concerning North American Star League, let's see. Loller Skater 2 wants to know, I would like to hear EG.idrA's opinion and expectations about it, possibly even his role in making it happen and how hard it was keeping it a secret.
It was pretty hard keeping it a secret just because it's so huge, and like knowing about that and knowing how big it's going to be and everyone wondering about it, because Jeff had been dropping hints for a long time. It was very hard to keep it secret. I didn't really play any part in making it happen, but I knew it was happening, and that was a pretty big, it was kind of the tipping point actually making me come back. Like, there's a lot of huge leagues, MLG, DreamHack, IEM, all the ESL stuff, and it was really tempting to come back to Korea, or leave Korea and come back to the US, but then I heard about NASL, and that was kind of the thing that pushed me over the edge.
Righty. And in what ways can the emerging North American StarCraft scene overcome what many perceive as the dominance of the Korean players in the game? Is it just a matter of marketing, or will more North American players need to spend time in Korea establishing themselves as top-tier players, as you have, before North American championships are being seen as legit as the Korean ones?
It's all about practice. It's just Koreans dedicate themselves more to the game. You have everyone living in team houses, playing all day, every day. And really, until foreigners are willing to do that, we're never going to be as good as them. But that being said, as soon as we do that, we can be as good as them. Like me, Machine, and Inca are all going to be living together in a team house. I'm sure other teams have plans for team houses. And as soon as we do that, there's no reason we can't be as good as the Koreans. And once we're as good as them, then there's nothing separating us from them. It's not something magical. And we have all these tournaments coming up. It's not like GSL is the only thing you can do professionally right now. NASL is almost as big in the prize money, and all of the other smaller foreign tournaments combined is also just as big as the GSL. So really, it just comes down to everyone taking it seriously and focusing on it as a profession.
Wise words, everybody. If you're looking to get into the StarCraft 2 scene and really serious about doing well, you've got to practice and you've got to have good partners. So, do you think you get cheesed more often because it is well known that you don't like cheese games and would rather have a macro game? Or is it that your macro is so outstanding that players would rather not get into a macro game with you, asks iBird.
Well, it's all kind of related. The fact that I am better at macro games, that's my strength. There's very few people who can actually outplay me in a multitasking game. That leads to the fact that I don't like cheese, but it also causes everyone to not want to play a macro game with me. I think my weakness to cheese and aggression and stuff is kind of overblown just because that is the majority of my losses, because it's not my strength. But it's not exactly a weakness. I don't lose to it any more than any other players. I'm just exposed to it more just because people want to do it to me more because it plays away from my strengths.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And what do you think of the new map trend towards larger Brood War style maps?
I'm very, very happy with it. I think it's obvious just from the GSL and the Team League matches so far. It's a lot more entertaining. It's much better games in general. You don't have people winning one battle and then ending the game because, you're immediately on your opponent's doorstep. You actually have a lot of back and forth, a lot of really big games. It's not all coming down to one timing rush anymore. I think it's very, very good for StarCraft 2 in general.
And do you have a favorite of the new GSL maps?
I like Traverse a lot before they moved it to 3 gases. Now I think Tal'Darim Altar. It seems to have a lot of potential. It's a really good map, I think.
And your last question comes from The Pain. He wants to know, what question do you really wish people would ask you? A topic that you really want to discuss about the StarCraft 2 scene, but it just never comes up.
I think just more general questions about kind of the game design in general. You get a lot of questions about balance. You get a lot of questions about tournaments and everything else, but you never really get questions about the game design itself. And something I really like to address is just kind of the fact that everything seems to be moving towards aggressive, cheesy play, and that's changing a bit with the map, so maybe it's not relevant anymore. But really, that's something I think that needs to be addressed. The fact that Blizzard's kind of keeping everything focused on very powerful, one-based, aggressive play. That's something I'd like to talk about more.
And do you have any comments on that right now?
Yeah, well, basically, they introduced all these macro mechanics. Mules mean that you can have anything you want faster, Chrono Boost 2, and larva mechanics mean that you can have a lot more units faster. Banelings are really kind of great for aggression. It's a lot. They're bonus first light, and all the early units are light, and they do splash damage and stuff. Then you have reactors. That means you have a bunch more units quicker. So basically, everything just makes fast aggression come faster, but you don't have faster scouting. Like, everything is still second tier or later. Observers are robotics. Overseers are after lair tech. And Terran has to burn a mule to scan. So aggression has gotten more powerful, but scouting and countering it hasn't. And this has made a lot of all-in play very, very much more effective than it was in StarCraft 1. And I think that's bad for game design in general. I think that's something that really needs to be addressed.
Well, you obviously have a lot of fans. A lot of people came out and responded to this thread that I put on Reddit.com, of course, in the R StarCraft section. So thank you guys for these questions. And where can we keep up with you? I know you said that you have a Twitter. You're not a huge fan of Twitter, but a lot of people want to know what's going on with you.
Yeah, I keep my Twitter pretty up to date on terms of stuff I'm doing and any content I put out there. You can follow me at EG.idrA, IDRAJIT, and that's also the URL for my fan page on Facebook. Those are really the best ways to follow me, Twitter and Facebook.
Thank you so much. And what can we look forward to seeing you at this year in the U.S. tournaments, aside from the North American Star League?
Pretty much everything. Like, the reason I'm moving back to the U.S. is to play in all these foreign leagues. I'm playing in IAM in like 5 days from now. Then I'm going to be going to all the MLG events, playing all the NASL events. I'm going to go to DreamHack, just basically every big foreign event I intend to go to.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to talking to you in the future.
Thank you.